let's go talk about another guy who, let's just say his favorite movie is not the 101 Dalmatians. Zohran Mamdani, admin, New York City mayor unveils record $127 billion budget, up from a whopping 11. Is this serious, Rob? The numbers they're saying up $11 billion?
Yep.
From this guy, New York is losing jobs to Texas now. Mamdani's tax push will worsen exodus. New York Post story came out with this article talking about what's happening. California lost $1 trillion twice in the last 5 years. One, the COVID exodus. Now this, the wealth tax exodus of $1 trillion leaving. And so New York is about to get their second $1 trillion exodus if they continue this way. Let me read this to you. New York is losing thousands of jobs to pro-business Texas, and Mamdani's push to raise corporate tax would only accelerate the exodus. An analysis released Tuesday by the Big Apple top corporate advocacy group claims the report issued by the Partnership of New York concludes that the Lone Star State low-tax pro-growth policies are successfully recruiting corporations that are diverting jobs from Wall Street, firms fed up with Gotham's high taxes, business hostile policies. It goes into a whole breaking down all the numbers. While New York's financial services industry still remains productive, generating $330 billion in gross regional product in 2021, 71% more than Texas. Texas financial service sector grew faster over the last decade, with GP rising 121% compared to 72%. I can give a bunch of other stats. Tom, your thoughts on this one, Mamdani?
So I'm going to explain something first. I'm going to set aside, and everybody, criticizes me for how I pronounce Madman's last name. Madmani is there in New York, and he has done the following. Let me explain it in some simplistic terms. Let's say your 16-year-old sister gets a visa for the first time. Okay. And she lives with your two parents who are still married, and she runs up a bill of $1,000. Okay. She can't pay that. And technically, that debt goes to the parents. Yep. The parents have to pay that visa off because she's not 18, and they kind of co-sign for that little checking account. Yep. So this $1,000 is now paid by the parents. The parents come to the end of the month and say, wow, we don't have money either, but we just had to pay this. And they go and they take out some of the HELOC, the home equity line of credit. Okay, follow that? Yep. So ultimately, the parents end up in debt. Watch. States get money from the government when they have natural disasters or they have horrible deficits. And they come to people like Representative Fine and they lobby to get that money, to get relief, to get grants, to get whatever it is. The cities put stress on their state governments all the time, especially blue cities. And, Mamdani has been spending the last week trying to put pressure on Hochul. Yes. Over this money. So Mamdani is the 16-year-old girl that ran up the Visa card. Hochul is the parents, and the United States is the HELOC. He is trying to get what he wants to put all this money for immigrants and all the programs he wants. Is he going to? Well, I think what is happening here is it has exploded really quick. I think he felt he had a mandate. And I don't think he realized that his margin of victory was decisive in the election, but not unanimous among the citizens.
It was also a lie. It was also a lie. Turns out free stuff isn't free. And that's a big part of the issue. I don't think he will be able to get those taxes raised. I don't think Kathy is going to be willing to lose her election in order to pay off.
It's a game of chicken with her.
Yeah, but I think she loses her election if she does that massive tax increase. Look, what's crazy about all of this is even before his massive increase that he wants to do, the budget of the city of New York, is larger than the budget of the state of Florida. And we have almost 3 times as many people who live here as live in New York. The budget of the state of New York is twice the budget of Florida. So 3 times if you add the two of them together. It's crazy. And what these people don't understand is if the federal government wants to raise your taxes, you've got a few choices. You can pay them, you can go to jail, or I guess you can burn your passport and move somewhere else. But if New York does crazy stuff, you get in your car and you drive away. Right. There's probably a reason why you are an entrepreneur here in Florida. It's probably partly this. And so all this is going to do is get people to leave and come to Florida or Texas or Tennessee or other places that don't have a state income tax. And by the way, not only do we not have a state income tax, it doesn't snow here. So, think of what he's asking people to pay. They can't even pick up the garbage right now, and he wants to increase taxes. So I think it just shows how stupid of an idea it was for the people of New York to elect him, and now they've got to pay.
Rob, Vinny, can you show that clip that you were talking about? Watch this, folks.
By the way, and mind you, he's, you know the saying, I hate to say I told you so. No. I love it. We told you so.
Look at the eyes.
Less than 3 months. Less than 3 months. Look at these guys in the street because he
This
wants
is
to
who, Rob? This is who?
This is in
These
New York.
are New Yorkers.
These are New Yorkers.
Rob, can you zoom in so we can read what it is?
Yeah.
Mamdani, voters angry that taxes are going to be raised for everybody, not just the rich. If only there was a historical precedent to prove that socialism has never worked.
Mind you, these people voted for him. So
Like Greece,
Go ahead, Rob.
like the EU.
The mayor, with the greatest respects, in every campaign speech, in every debate where you engage, we opened our ears to listen. Now today, accept the words echoing from us now. Do your job as mayor and leave our taxes out.
Bingo. Only two options. You're saying if we don't tax the rich, then I got to increase property taxes. We are not a pawn in Southeast Queens. We are not part of your negotiation tactics. Mayor Zohran Mamdani, you are out your goddamn mind.
By the way, that's called buyer's remorse.
But they voted for him.
No,
yeah?
100%. And again, what was going to be free? Who'd you think was going to pay for it? The billionaires, the millionaires, the billionaires, Bernie Sanders, they're leaving.
Yep.
They're not going to stay there. And the one thing that pissed me off, he's one of the most this is a liar and a freaking hypocrite. He is one of the most heavily protected politicians, I think, in the United States. There's rumors that he has a detail of up to 60 police officers that protect him and his wife, and it's going to cost taxpayers $10 to $12 million a year. But he wants to get rid of 5,000 New York police officers. So good for all of you. How many, for a year, we've been here telling you guys what was going to happen. You should see the messages I get. You don't know what you're talking about. You're from Yonkers. You're not from New York. Okay, it's happening in real time, and he's been in for how many months? How many months? 2 months? You think that this is just the beginning? Wait and see. Go ahead. It's happening.
I think there should be a civics course that just teaches the average American basic math and to understand the basic math. When you take a look, if you sat there with people in New York, these gentlemen appear to be informed, reasonable people that are very upset and going to the microphone out there in a peaceful demonstration, making their point known, making their voice heard. This is America at its best, when it's like, oh my goodness. Now, what they need to remember is that, guys, you voted for this and you didn't pay attention. Yeah. Ron DeSantis, approximately 3 weeks ago, gave, I think it was a civic speech that was going on in Tallahassee, and he talked about how the amount of money being spent per capita in New York was greater than the total budget for everything provided, including roads, disaster relief, everything, water treatment plants in the entire state of Florida that has the number of people that live here. So DeSantis made that point, and then these folks didn't understand things like when we saw Fox Business, Neil Cavuto, sits there and this girl said, we should just tax everything from the wealthy and we'll pay for Social Security, Medicare forever. And Neil Cavuto said, if you took every penny from everybody in this, you remember this, in this nation that was worth more than $500 million, take it all, you'll only pay for Medicare and Social Security for 7 years. And the system's still broken. There needs to be a collective understanding getting past the emotion of hate in this country so that people understand what you're voting for. Tax the rich sounds good, but it doesn't work. It's like you've got a $20 bill in your pocket and all your friends say, you should take the entire gang out for dinner. You don't have enough to cover. People don't see this, Pat. This is where you and I agree, Pat, on the need for education, including civics education about how government really works, how big the debt really is, and how offsetting these promises are. So you could look at somebody and say, you know what? You can't do that. That won't even work. And yet they voted for it, and now they're out there exercising their right to free speech. But good luck, guys. You're going to be there till the next mayoral election.
Okay.
Mamdani, is it mine?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Mamdani, you've done it now. I mean, listen, it's one thing to piss off some liberal white women. Oh my God, it'll be an inconvenience, as Andrew Tate says. Start pissing off some dudes, some angry black men in New York. You're gonna have a little bit more than an inconvenience. You're gonna have a revolution on your hands. So these guys are not going away. They're not quiet, and these are the guys that actually work, and they're not just pushing paper and some bureaucracy. These are the people that are gonna stormed the Capitol, so to speak.
It said homeowner.
Exactly.
He's a homeowner. And now he's like,
These
wait
are
a
not
minute.
the dudes you want to mess with. So shout out to them. I'm not sure if they voted for him or not.
No, he
whatever.
said, no, he goes, I've been supporting
Oh,
you. And he goes,
really?
I listened
Yeah.
and I believed your
Well,
nonsense.
guys, time and time again, we've seen
I know, but you
the
remember-
lies of socialism and communism.
Well, you guys remember that time that
We'll come home to roost.
communism and socialism worked
No,
in that place
no.
with the thing and the yeah.
Never.
No.
What's the Pat, someone gave you the book, The Benefits of Communism,
And it was
and then you
empty.
open it, just empty page after page
All
after
right, let's
page
go through
after
a couple
page.
others. One thing about Vinny that I love, he's becoming a great example to everybody around here, and that includes myself. I'm so proud of Vinny. Yesterday, we're having dinner with two of our friends, Brian and Tom, who were there with us, and we had dinner. You saw them earlier. You were speaking to them. And he says, how'd you guys meet Vinny? And I started telling the story about Vinny, and where he went to, where he's at right now. Life-changing what this man has turned into. Vinny, share with us what you got going on.
Pat, I love you and thank you. God literally saved me, and I'm here now because God. The story was saw Pat on Instagram, clicked on it, saw that he was a Syrian. I just lost 2 friends to fentanyl poisoning, not overdose because they didn't. And God got me to where I am right now. And for you guys that know, my biggest thing is faith over fear and having faith in Jesus Christ. Last week, James Vanderbeek had that message where he said, I was facing death nose to nose, and he looked so comfortable and so happy. We forgot that, I don't know if you guys remember, on February 15th was the anniversary of 2015 when the ISIS soldiers, whatever, terrorists, whatever you want to call them, were in Libya, and they captured 20 Christian construction workers, put them down. Rob has a photo in orange jumpsuits, put knives to their heads, and they said, if you guys right now convert to Islam, we won't behead you. And these 20, I knew this was going to happen, 20 construction workers said, this is what they said. They said, no, I love you, Jesus Christ. And they cut all their heads off. I know I talk about faith over fear. That right there is, these are construction workers, Pat. They're not priests. They're not the Pope. They're not, these are just regular guys that all sat their hands tied behind their back. And they said, nope, we believe in Jesus Christ. That is the epitome of faith over fear. God bless them. God rest their souls. And that is it. Because Jesus said, by the way, John chapter 14:6 said what, Tom? I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. Nobody gets to me except through the Father, except through me, through Jesus Christ. Period.
Absolutely. They were in fear at that time. There was early persecution going on. If you were a Jewish person at that time and you were now listening to Jesus, the Jewish leaders of the time were like, this rabbi here is a heretic. He's saying things that are way out of bounds, and persecution started, and they were scared. They were scared. And that same passage where he says, I am the way, right before that, he says to Thomas, he said, do not let your hearts be troubled. I am with you. And it takes strength. It takes strength in knowing where eternity is, to sit there and to as Christ did on the cross, just to give it up and saying, look, I am not going to betray my Savior. I am not going to be the heretic on this side. And it says, take my life if God allows you to take it. Because if you do it, God is only permitting it, not causing it.
I love it, Tom.
Yeah.
I love it, Vinny.
So yeah, and that was it. And I just want to make sure I'm the way, I'm the truth, the life. No one gets to the Father through me. And it's just that right there is the epitome of faith over fear. And I just can't. It's almost as if every week something else is happening that's proving it and showing it. And I pray that I have that much faith if it ever comes down to it. And I pray that I get it.
Got it. Awesome. And by the way, I love seeing the faith over fear hats, shirts, everything that you got. If you feel the same way, go to vtmerch.com. Place an order for yourself, your family, and your friends. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.